Hi everybody, welcome to this Odyssey explanation video. In this video, I'd like to show you how you could use Odyssey in order to spend your marketing budget more effectively. Let's start with the main metric that we use, which is the incrementality index. As you can see over here, it's sorted from high to low. So the organic search channel is with 55% incrementality index is the highest one, while referrals with 18% are the lowest, and all the others are in between. So let's have a look at the paid search channel, for example. Paid search has an incrementality index of 34%, which means that from all the customer journeys that paid search is part of, which are 737 in this case, 34% of the value of these customer journeys can be attributed or should be attributed to the paid search channel, which also means that 66% of the value of these customer journeys should be attributed to other channels. So how do we get to the 34% for paid search? It's based on our three KPIs, which are length in clicks, density, and position. So if you look at paid search again, you see in the length in clicks column that they have a length of 3.0, which means that on average, when paid search is part of a customer journey, then the length of the customer journey is 3 visits. So people need 3 visits before they buy a product on the website on average. Well, if you look at the other channels, for example, display, you can see that they have a length of 5, referrals 4, well, paid social 2. And now the question is, of course, well, what's better, a low or a high number over here? Well, that's pretty straightforward. It's actually the lower the better, because as an advertiser, you want your visitors to convert as soon as possible. So if it takes, for example, 10 visits before somebody buys something, then, well, you have to spend money to get them back to the website over and over again. So you rather want people to convert quickly and therefore have short customer journeys. But length in clicks is just one of the 3 KPIs. So let's have a look at the other 2 as well. So we know that paid search on average is active in customer journeys with a length of 3. And now we want to know how many of these 3 touch points are actually owned by paid search. Is it just 1? Is it 2? Or is it all 3? Or something in between? Well, that's how we get to the density. A density of 39% means that paid search owns 39% of the touch points in the customer journey. So in this case, it's a little bit more than 1 out of the 3 touch points. And then if we continue with position, it's pretty straightforward. It's 0.56. Position is a number between 0 and 1. And obviously 0.5 is the median. So 0.56 means that paid search is on average a bit more active towards the end of the customer journey. Now we know the meaning of the 3 KPIs, we can turn them into the incrementality index. And actually we only need 2 of the 3 KPIs because length in clicks is already included in the density. So we start with a density percentage of 39% and then turn it into an incrementality percentage of 34%. So how we do this really depends on the attribution model you choose. In this case, we've chosen our default attribution model, which is first click linear. In our first click linear model, we attribute most value to the first click or the first touch point in the customer journey. Then the second one, then the third, and finally the last touch point in the journey gets the least credit for a sale. The last click linear model, on the other hand, works totally the other way around. In that case, the first click will receive the least value and the last click will receive the most value. Then our third attribution model, which is the linear model, will attribute the same amount of value to every touch point in the customer journey. Now we know how the incrementality is being calculated and which attribution models we can choose. Let's have a look at the cost and revenue side of the tool. First, we look at the participated revenue, which is the amount of revenue in which the traffic source that you look at is involved in. So for paid search, it means that paid search is involved in 84,776 euro of revenue for this period. Then we look at the maximum media spend, which can be found under the settings over here, attribution models. You can see a slider which says 20%. Well, that means that from the revenue we make as an advertiser, we're willing to spend 20% on our digital marketing channels. We need the maximum media spend as well as the participated revenue in order to calculate the suggested media spend. So let's have a look again at paid search, which has a suggested media spend of 5,755. So how do we calculate that? First, we have this revenue of a bit more than 84,000. We have a maximum media spend of 20%. So from this 84,000 euros, we're willing to spend 20% on our digital marketing channels, which is basically around 17,000 euros. Well, now we look at the incrementality index of paid search, which is 34%, and take 34% from this 17,000, and then we end up with 5,755. Now we know what our suggested media spend is. It's good to know what our current media spend is, which is 5,216 euros, which means that we're actually underspending, which you can see in this column. We're underspending by 539 euros. So that actually means that we could or should invest more in this paid search channel in order to make more revenue. So where should we spend the 539 euros that according to Odyssey we should invest more in the paid search channel? Of course, that should be done on a more granular level. So let's have a look in the paid search channel. See Google and Bing. Well, if we look at Google, for example, we see 5 campaigns that we're running, 2 campaigns having overspent, 3 campaigns having underspent. So what you basically have to do is cut budget on the overspending campaigns and invest the budget in the underspending campaigns. For other channels, it works more or less the same. So if you look at paid social, for example, well, you could click on this, see Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Well, click on Facebook and you see your retargeting campaign and your sale campaign, both having underspent. So these are campaigns where you could invest more money in order to get more incremental sales. So let's get back to the overview. Hopefully this would give you an overview, a good overview on how you could use Odyssey to spend your budget more effectively. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're always there to help you, and hopefully we can see you again. Bye-bye.